Blessings, Halftime TV viewers and subscribers. Welcome to another episode, and today we'll be talking about something that has been dominating the airwaves since basically the sun came up. And I know folks will have different opinions on this one, so I'm just gonna go out there and I'm gonna share my thoughts, and then I'm gonna invite you, the viewers and subscribers, to let us know what your thoughts are below this video. If you haven't done so as yet, go ahead and smash the like button and subscribe to Halftime TV as we continue to bring you content on the most current sporting stories pertaining to Jamaica and otherwise. So first, big up the Arsenal fans. They decimated Tottenham Hotspur a little bit earlier on today, but we're not here to talk about Arsenal. I know the fans, they love hearing congratulations, but we're not here to talk about you. This is about Dujuan Richards and Ganja Clauze, the popular social media content creator, I like to say. Now, I know folks don't think this is how it's supposed to be, but if you have played football at any level whatsoever in Jamaica, whether it is Manning Cup, the Costa Cup, National Premier League, or the senior level, the senior national team, then you would have been directed to phone your mother at some point, right? And that's me putting it nicely. Now, Ganja Clauze, he came out a couple of days ago and he basically went on a rant attacking the Reggae Boys players, and especially the ones who were videotaped at the popular nightclub following Jamaica's loss to, well, Jamaica's draw to Curacao and basically their failure to qualify automatically to World Cup 2026. Ganja Clauze, he went on to then direct some of the players to do whatever it is that, well, most of you are familiar with what happens when Jamaican footballers, they don't play well, what folks in the stands say. So I won't repeat it on here because it's a family channel, but as I said, this is something that we don't want to normalize it and we don't want to act as if this is how it's supposed to be, but this is how it is. And if you're playing football in England, if you're playing football in Jamaica, if you're playing football in Brazil, wherever it is that you're playing football, you will receive abuse from the fans, especially if you're not playing well. Now, it kind of goes over the edge when the abuse becomes racist or otherwise, and oftentimes we see the likes of Vinicius Jr., etc., come out and speak about racist abuse and those sort of things. In this situation, that was not the case, but regardless, the player felt as if what Ganja Clauze said was uncalled for, and the player went live on Instagram. Now, this is something that we don't often see, and I'll say it again, I believe these players need media training. Now, coming out of the Craig Butler camp, this is the second player, because we saw it with Leon Bailey as well, where he went live and he said, well, not went live, but went on an interview and he said what he felt he had to say. It's the same. Dujuan Richards, he's very frequent on TikTok, goes live on TikTok every now and then, shares whether it is things happening in his life, celebrations, etc. Or as we saw before the Jamaica versus Curacao game, he went live again and was imploring the fans to come out and basically boosting them up a bit to say, hey, come out, come support us. This time around, Whisper, he came out and he was basically defending himself, saying he doesn't know Ganja Clauze, and Ganja Clauze well into his 40s. Why is he calling him a cruff and telling him about his mother, and he doesn't know him? Basically, he should run to Montego Bay and come back because he's fat. Now, I think Ganja Clauze went too far. Again, he has a very huge platform, and although this is something that is normalized in Jamaica, if you're in the stands, I think it goes one step further when he takes it to his platform, and he has come out and he's apologized, and some folks are saying it can't be undone because you already did it. But we didn't see the rest of the players, because Whisper wasn't the only player that he told, but the rest of the players, they didn't come out. Bobby Reid, I think following that game against Curacao, he received more abuse than anyone else in the Jamaican national team. He was dragged, he was disrespected, he was like, in Jamaican terms, them rub him out, right? Them proper rub him out. And we said we still didn't see anything, but he didn't go live. He basically put an apology on his Instagram, and that was it. Now, I think more of the Jamaican bred players, like the folks who are, I wouldn't even say Jamaican bred. I think Dujuan, Richards, and Leon Bailey, they need to pay attention to these players who have basically been in the spotlight a little bit longer and have been playing in England, like basically from them born. Right? Because obviously these players have received a certain level of media training as well. And I think Leon Bailey, and I keep saying Leon Bailey because this was a problem that I had as well when Leon did the interviews on Let's Be Honest podcast. Now, Dujuan Richards now coming out and addressing Ganja Clauze. Is it the case that he will be addressing everyone that says something negative about him? In the video that Ganja Clauze did, there were some truth there as well. The delivery might have not been the best. However, I think in essence him saying that Whisper hasn't gotten to the top as yet is valid. I think Whisper, he's on track to be a good footballer, but there's a difference between being a good footballer and a great footballer. And as I said on my TikTok live a little bit earlier today, I think that's where the wires are crossed, because he's playing for Chelsea. This is a perfect platform for him to break it into one of the biggest teams in world football right now. And based on your social media, if it is anything to go by, you are a party boy who focuses more on the things outside of football than on the pitch. We're seeing players who are in a similar bracket as Whisper, the likes of Estevao and Tariq George and Mhueka. These are all players. Estevao, 10 goals / assists this season so far. Tariq George has scored some brilliant goals in the Chelsea first team. And these are players that, had Whisper not picked up his injury, would like to think he would be pushing them for a spot in that starting team, or at least in the start in the Chelsea squad. So I think focus on the football, Whisper. They said excellence breeds expectations, and I think that's where it's at right now. We've seen what you can do, and that's the reason for the high expectations. And as a result of these high expectations, when you don't meet it, or when the behavior outside of the football doesn't tie in with the football that you're bringing to the pitch, then people have qualms and people share opinions, right? You can't really focus on everything that's being said, because in no universe whatsoever will you be able to address everything that's been said about you. But overall, I think some of what Ganja Clauze said was valid. I didn't think he needed to go as far as to tell Whisper about his mother. Also, on the flip side, Whisper coming out and basically addressing it and whatnot, I don't think that was called. I don't think Whisper needed to respond to it, because right now what he's done is he's directed a whole lot of traffic over to Ganja Clauze's page, and now everyone wants to know who is Ganja Clauze. And you know what they say, like there's no such thing as bad publicity. So right now the traffic is over at Ganja Clauze's page, and that's all due to Whisper addressing it in his live stream. And you won't be able to address every single person. And if you think Ganja Clauze coming out and saying something about you is bad, you wait until the English media gets their claws into you. Whether it is when you break into the Chelsea team, or if you don't break into the Chelsea team and you end up at another team, once they get their claws into you, then you'll know how it really feels to be critiqued and to be criticized. As for now, it's basically a set of, like, most of us Jamaican YouTubers and most of Jamaican journalists, they're fans of you, and as such we don't really pull too deep into the shortcomings. We leave it as is. But again, it comes across as tone deaf. You partying the same night Jamaica failed to qualify for the World Cup, and I can see where Ganja Clauze is coming from in criticizing that approach to it. And if it were any other team, it wouldn't slide like that. So those in your corner telling you that it's okay to be partying the night after Jamaica fails to qualify for the World Cup, that's not okay. That's not okay. And again, focus on the football. Get the party in a break for now. I know that you're young. I know that you're making good money, and you like to think it's good money, but there's a whole lot more money to be made. And if you dedicate yourself to the football, and if you apply yourself fully to the football and work hard, then tie that with the talent that you have, and the sky's the limit, my friend. Anyway, I'll leave it at that. Halftime TV viewers and subscribers, what are your thoughts? Is it okay for the players to be partying the night of Jamaica's failure to qualify automatically for the World Cup? And do you think Dujuan Richards needed to respond to the popular Jamaican social media personality Ganja Clauze on what was said? Let's have those conversations below this video. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time.